And welcome on back. We just finished the tutorial. Now it's time to start making some progress in the milestones. First one I'm going for is what I think one of the most vital ones.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to save space and enhance the productivity of your factory. Fix-It encourages you to consider investing in verticality when it comes to factory logistics. If you feel stressed by this complexity, imagine yourself on the shore of a vast and calm ocean. Breathe in. Visualize all the people relying on you. The sea is made of billions of faces, each staring at you with hope and tears in their eyes. Breathe out. Feel refreshed and focused on your duties.
Wait, this is a pond, not an ocean. Next up, we'll go for field research, but till then, the reason why logistics is very vital is that now, instead of needing one miner that can only link up to one smelter that can only link up to one constructor, I can now split it and be able to hook up multiple things. But before we do that, I need to expand the power. And what we're going to do first is place some storage containers here. Then we'll want to build 2 constructors. And what I plan on setting up is more biomass burners. And what I'm going to do is set up these constructors to automatically make biomass instead of me having to do it by hand. I needed 2 containers because one is going to hold wood and then the other is going to hold all the grass I pick up. And now using a merger, that is, just adding them to my hot bar on the bottom there, I can then hook up 3 belts into one output. And of course, if I ever need more, I just build additional mergers or splitters. Then we'll want to put down these burners, which as of recently now have an input slot. Let me just tell you, back in my day, we didn't have that. And God, trying to do the control thing doesn't work too well when there's no foundations. But I haven't unlocked that yet, so just have to deal. But yeah, back in the day, you had to manually hand feed biomass burners. You couldn't just link them up like this. So you were pretty much like pushed into progressing so you can make some of the automated power options. Though technically biomass is still not fully automated because you still need to manually go out and gather wood and the leaves and whatnot. Now what is nice about these splitters is being able to just plop a power pole right on top of them. Saves us on some space. Though the 4 slots is a tremendous issue. But maybe we'll figure out a way to get around that soon. So let me just readjust some things here because I need to set up a storage container for the biomass itself. Because once the burners get full and then it backs up into the constructors will stop building. And I'd rather have a backstock of the stuff accumulating during that time. And spaghetti warning, it's gonna look fucking ugly. But this is all just temporary. Not just in a I need to wait until I get foundations way, but in a I don't plan on sticking with biofuel power for a while. I just gotta get creative with this. There we go, it works. There used to be a time where the game was extremely anal about clipping Now, unless it's like really egregious, if there's some slight clipping or even moderate clipping, the blueprint will turn yellow to let you know, hey, there's clipping going on. But it doesn't say you're not allowed to build this thing until you fix up the clipping issue. God, these power poles. There are 4 slots. But hey, massive gains to our power. Now we can actually start making some progress in building things. Yeah, just look at that. A whole 100 watts of power. Now, just want to show off here. Being on a pure node, this miner makes 120 ore per minute, and our smelters only consume 30. And they produce 30 ingots, but the wires thing only consumes 15 ingots. So first off, let's go ahead and split the ingots here, and then we can make a second wire factory. That way, all the ingots being made all gets consumed. I'm not expanding or splitting the miner itself, mainly because the Mark 1 belts we have can only provide only has enough speed for 60 items a minute. So I wouldn't be able to take full advantage of the 120 that the miner is providing. What I'm going to do here is set up the second wire for cables. And yeah, we're not making as much wire as what the cables need, but it's fine. It's all passive, you know, passive generation. You don't have to worry about it min-maxing for right now. This is more of giving me a stock to fill up some of these milestones and for building purposes. And now, before I do that actually, just short on plates. Field research unlocks a few useful things as well. So let's swap this on over to plates. And that was a deconstruction crate. Whenever you deconstruct stuff and your inventory's full, it'll just drop a crate nearby, so you don't lose the items.
Milestone reached. Supply the molecular analysis machine, referred to as the MAM, with local resources to research and develop new technologies. Potential technologies include exploration tools, weapons, and factory buildings. These are essential for maximizing your Pioneer efficiency and alignment with Fixit's core pillars: construct, automate, explore, and exploit. To advance Fixit's mission, all notable phenomena, resources, technology, or other influence should be investigated regardless of any perceived danger, as stated in the Pioneer contract. This fruit, dubbed the paleberry due to its tendency to stay light in color even when ripe, is compatible with the human digestive system and has been added to the object scanner. Further research is available.
So I've read somewhere if you were to research before Ada finishes her sentence, she calls you rude, but didn't do it for me. Now, most things only take 3 seconds. Honestly, I'm not even sure why there's a 3-second limit. I figured that was an early access thing, but nope. But hard drives take 10, and hard drives are quite important. Now, with that said, it's time to start expanding the iron production here. And iron is, for now at least, pretty more important than copper, because we need iron to make plates, rods, and screws. And screws are going to be the fun one. We can see we can get 2 constructors making rods out of 1 smelter. So let's just try and make this fit. There we go. God, these poles. And as you can see, we need rods to make screws, which is one reason screws suck. So that means an extra constructor, and more pressing, space for an extra constructor to make screws. But hey, I got screws, rods, and plates being made. Let's just drop down a storage container in front of each constructor. That way I don't have to worry about things becoming full. And just as I work on other stuff, it's passive income. And here, having quite a lot of problems with the controls mapping, so just not bother with that for right now, do it manually. Yeah, I got that set up for concrete as well. Which is good, because we need concrete for the next milestone, which will let us build walls and foundations and stuff. And foundations have the benefit, besides just being even layer, it's way better to snap snuff. Also, at this point I realized, oh, 2 of my power generators aren't working. What's up with that? Are they not connected? No, they're connected. It's just they're not getting any fuel because I forgot to put in a belt. Whoops. I just want to make sure that my consumption isn't overriding my production or my capacity. Side note, yes, I forgot to hook up that 4th biomass burner to the system. Whoops. But hey, let's go ahead and explore a little further up north again. Northeast. I believe I kept this in just to show off. To the left, there's 2 additional iron nodes, and they're pure quality. I don't think I mentioned that, but the purity of the node is how well the miner will work on it. So normal mode, you get the normal, which I believe is 60 for like copper and iron ore. Pure is 2 times as much, 120, and impure is half, 30.
Unknown metal collected. This metallic element is showing properties similar to those in Group 11 on the periodic table, such as high conductivity and malleability. Research it in the MAM to establish classification and potential application.
And right up here is a node of Caterium. Unfortunately, it has that boulder, but thankfully you can drop down auto miners on the node and they'll still mine. So I just put like, I don't know, 5 or 6 here. I want to grab a few extra of the ores. I'll need it for the MAM. And at this point when I realized, oh, I didn't connect that one. Yeah, early game I always kind of get fraggled because I constantly feel like I'm running against the clock when it comes to the fact that biomass is the only power available. And it's just, you know, worst case scenario is that if the power does go down, the assemblers also go down that are making the biomass. So not only will I need to go out and harvest grass and logs, I'll then need to manually craft more biomass and then refuel everything. But hey, here's a new little piece of equipment. A scanner, not like the mineral scanner that our little build gun thing can do, but the way this one works is that you select wherever you want it to find, and if you're pointing in the direction that that item is at, it'll show it like this, with a little progress bar on the bottom. And as you get closer, it starts beeping louder and louder. And as we research more things, there will be more options for things that we can find with the scanner. So yeah, if you ever need to find some berries, there you go.
Milestone reached. Several new structures are now available for improving factory organization. Foundations provide a building grid, which makes it easier to manage placement of any structure. In the event that you are experiencing amnesia for all events prior to planetfall, be reassured that memories of beloved humans and/or animals would have only been distractions from your important mission.
I mean, hell, there's cats in the garden section at work, and I spend most of my days petting them, or at least trying to.
Hard drive analysis completed. Alternative recipe selection available in the MAM.
So yeah, hard drives unlock alternate recipes, or in this case, inventory slots. Thankfully, you can re-roll a hard drive once, and in this case, I got the item, or the research I really wanted, which is letting me make screws straight from ingots instead of needing to make rods. It completely cuts out a whole construction unit.
The metal has been named Caterium after Fixit's greatest CEO Katerina Parks. It has been added as a viable alternative to gold in industrial applications, specifically in advanced electronics due to its superconductivity, malleability, and corrosion resistance. Research completed. Caterium ingot recipe unlocked. New Caterium research available.
Now we can make actual ingots out of Caterium, so I just drop down a storage container to throw ore into, and then another storage container to stockpile all the ingots. And hey, now that we can make screws straight from ingots, I'm just going to reroute the iron rod constructor that was making screws to combine with the output of the other rod constructor. So double rods, and then just going to set up this constructor over here to make our screws. Funnily enough, even though I have now simplified screw making, that's still not the end of the Satisfactory nightmare that is screws. Most alternate recipes that are highly valued are ones that completely get rid of screws, and I'll show why that's the case a little bit later, or maybe in next video, eventually. Now let's do a little more researching on the MAM.
The remains researched belong to an organism now dubbed the fluffy-tailed hog. It has many characteristics that would likely classify it among the Suidae family were it native to Earth. Hog remains can now be made into alien protein, and additional research may reveal options for improving pioneer safety during exploration. Mercer sphere analysis completed. Established local planetary signature of massage 2, AB, in the local Mercer sphere signals, allowing them to be tracked by the object scanner. Mercer spheres can also transmit data between specific.
Witness our scripture, witness our windows. Have you come to defile our shrine? Sing us a song.
Arguing the existence of intelligent alien life. While Fixit has figured out the method, all of the original data is still untranslatable.
Well, that's weird. Anyways.
Research completed. Quickwire recipe unlocked. New Caterium research available.
Now we can make quick wire, which will be used for something very important. So let's just get on that. Side note, quick wire is also pretty solid for... Actually, hold on, that's a little bit later. Spoilers.
The crystalline mineral was a previously unknown variation of quartz, with uniquely large and flawless crystals, normally only found in synthetic quartz. The industrial application of this mineral will follow that of its synthetic counterpart, specifically in communication and exploration technologies.
So yeah, those blade runners here in the quartz tree, very important to get.
This semi-slug, now dubbed Power Slug, is early in its life cycle and has retained only part of its potential energy storage capacity, giving it its blue color. Power slugs are capable of extracting latent energy from their surroundings, including through a form of photosynthesis, and preserve it in their porous semi-crystalline shell over their lifetime. This explains why they rarely move after having found a suitable location. The mycelial networks of these fungi possess unusually resilient hyphae, which show potential for making a strong but lightweight natural fabric. Additionally, it has similar medicinal and pest control applications to mycelia on Earth.
And we'll just borrow some biomass from here just to continue on our research.
Research completed. Fabric recipe unlocked. New mycelia research available.
And yeah, we can even get extra hand slots, which will be very nice. So, always good to do research. And here we go. This is what we want Caterium
New
for.
Caterium research options available. Congratulations on finding this metal. Many Fixit initiatives will benefit from Caterium's applicability in advanced engineering. Also, it is probably not sentient, and so unlikely to feel pain as we exploit it.
Weird little detail to throw in there. But yeah, so originally, Blade Runners were in the Caterium line, but they moved it to Quartz because Caterium had so much good stuff while Quartz didn't.
Milestone reached. Solid biofuel, created from any biomass, ensures maximum efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, the chainsaw allows for the removal of tougher wood and coral foliage. Additionally, your pocket dimension has been inflated to increase inventory size. Inspirational note: will you be the Fixit Employee of the Month? You could be, if you construct, automate, explore and exploit by eliminating all obstacles to efficiency. This isn't just fun, it's contractually mandated, fun, fun, fun.
God, that last line was a little too real. I've held several jobs in my life, and the amount of fake happiness and, you know, oh, it's all fun. Ugh. Anyways, we now have a chainsaw. And to use the chainsaw, we need to get some solid biofuel. And to make that, we need, well, the, I guess, non-solid biofuel. Or biomass, I guess. Okay, what is this Wii Sports crap? Come on, you don't need to remind me how long I've been playing. Jeez. So yeah, besides being able to gather all the leaves, we can chop down these big-ass trees. And not only that, but it also, like, auto-gathers stuff in, like, in a radius around you. So if we go to, say, over here, look at all that. Yeah, it's pretty great. And as far as I believe, it's not like permanent. Like, I think the trees do grow back, so, you know, go wild. But now that we have biofuel as an option, I'm gonna need to completely redo our biomass burners because I can't fit an extra constructor in that space. So I'm gonna build 2 containers here for the grass and logs, and then I'm gonna use these conveyor lifts to lift the belt upwards up to here. Then we'll need to build our constructors for to turn the logs and grass into biomass. So while I'm doing all this, funny story about work about chainsaws. Like, one of the first month I was working there, I work at a hardware store. Oh hey, the designation is I stamp. Anyways, I had a guy just come up to me and ask me 2, like, really kind of silly questions that makes you, like, realize, like, how much customers, like, overestimate what a regional employee knows. The first one was asking about if I knew what kind of screw his microwave that would be mounted over an oven would use, because I guess when they moved it, they threw the screws out. So this guy just, like, assumed I would just know offhand what screw a microwave, didn't even give me a brand name, just a microwave uses. And I told him, no, I don't know the answer to that question. His second question was if I can identify what kind of chainsaw blade would be compatible with his chainsaw. Then he just showed me a picture on his phone of just, like, half the blade of the chainsaw. Which I expected me to know compatibility off of that. And it's like, dude, when you took your phone out to take that picture, you didn't think, hey, instead of taking a picture and then driving to the hardware store to ask a guy whose job is to just pick online orders, that's what I do, if he can identify a chainsaw chain by just off a picture, why did you just look at your chainsaw and then on your phone go to google.com and type in what chainsaw you use and then blade, and I'm sure, and you know, go from there. It couldn't have taken any more time than fucking driving down to the store and just hoping a minimum wage employee is apparently a like, you know, construction worker or a, you know, a master craftsman who knows the stuff by sight. Alright, there we go. Now I'm just going to go ahead and mass deconstruct all that. Then need to get power up here. And then just run the power lines. Now, something I noticed, I believe I noticed it here, which is kind of weird. I guess I'm not doing that yet. Oh my god, what am I doing? Oh, right. I need to research these poles, finally.
Power Pole Mark II unlocked. This provides additional power connections compared to the Power Pole Mark I.
Got some floating belts there, but also a deconstruction container. But okay, yeah, so what I notice here is if I explicitly try to build a pole over the splitters here, I can't. Which is strange. But if I were to connect a power line, which then auto-builds a power pole where I'm pointing at, I can do that. But yep, now I can swap it on over for a Mark II power pole. All it requires is just some Caterium. It's honestly, there's really not much of a reason to not have Mark II power poles for everything once you get it, because Caterium wire isn't exactly a rarity. Now, what makes these really good when you think about it, you know, Mark I 4 connections, Mark II 7 connections, okay, that's just 3 extra connections. But when you consider that you need 1 input, and then you'll want to reserve 1 extra slot to build another power pole once you fill up all the other slots, you go from 2 to 5. So 1 pole now doubles, more than doubles, how many things you can connect to it. It's great. There are another tier of power poles, but honestly, I never went past Mark II. But here we go, solid biofuel being made. All I need to do is just make sure every now and then to do some runs around the area and start clear cutting the forest and dropping everything off to be made into fuel, and I should be good. Note that the biofuel generators here I already have disconnected and emptied out because they don't have an input slot, so I'm not going to bother with them anymore.
Milestone reached. You have been given access to the anti-waste effort for stress testing of materials on Exoplanet's bonus program, also known as Awesome. Your awesome input allows Fixit to comprehend our amazing universe more clearly. In appreciation of this, we have generously set up an internal, closed economy with exclusive rewards and currency. Directing parts of varying quantity and complexity into the Awesome Resource Sink will grant Fixit coupons. These coupons can be redeemed in the Awesome Shop for highly desirable items such as new foundations, walls, factory attachments, cosmetics, parts, and more. Next time you have additional resources, just remember to go that extra kilometer. Go awesome.
So yes, the sink. It's a way to generate currency to unlock some very useful items, and the way it works is you need to put stuff in it, and depending on what item it is, it's worth a certain amount of points, and once you get a certain amount of points, you can get a ticket. Now you can't hand feed items into the sink, so we've got to build up a storage container and just throw some stuff in there. Obviously, like, raw resources are worth very little points, and as items get more and more complicated to make, they are worth more and more points. And as I was saying earlier, Caterium wires are pretty decent here at the start for generating points. And it's at this point I realized, oh, I didn't even connect all those generators up there to down here. Whoops. Yep, there we go, a slow accumulation. Once you get like a proper factory setup, it is always a good idea to set up an excess belt where all of your excess material gets funneled into and it's automatically thrown into the sink. But that just about does it. Let's take a close look at this here toilet. Gross. Someone needs to contact a plumber. But what I want to do was, because I am very mature for my age, I want to drop a log in the toilet and then flush it. Goodbye, everyone.